Hello, health warriors. Today I'll talk about cancer and how a cell becomes cancerous. A lot of people think cancer is caused by just mutated or bad genes, but I would love to tell you that cancer is a story of disconnection. It is a regeneration or healing program that went wrong. Now, when your cells are stressed, when I mean stressed, I mean they are damaged, they are wounded as a result of poor light choices, artificial environments, toxins, and the likes. What happens is that these cells they become hypoxic, and when I mean hypoxic, I mean that they become oxygen deprived. Now, when the cells become oxygen deprived, this leads to a process known as depolarization, and depolarization is also known as the loss of charge in a cell. When these cells depolarize, they switch to glycolysis for energy, which is also known as the Warburg shift. Also, these cells differentiate and they start acting like stem cells. Now, this is a primitive survival mode that was necessary in the history of evolution when oxygen was toxic. This process of the cells reverting to this primitive stem-like cells is a normal process for regeneration. However, that process also requires what I call the DC electric current that Becker talked about for regeneration to be able to occur. Because we live in a world that is highly oxygenated, what happens is if that DC electric current is not available and the cells begin to go through a process of revascularization, that means the cells are able to grow new blood vessels, and these new blood vessels begin to supply oxygen to the damaged cell, meaning that there is a boost in oxygenation. Remember, the cells were hypoxic. Now they are now switching from that state of being hypoxic to now being flooded with oxygen without that regeneration that was meant to have occurred. This is exactly what sets the stage for cancer, because regeneration did not occur. And that is why when you are battling with cancer, it is unwise for you to start adding oxygen boosting therapies to your treatment plan, because this would only lead to the creation of more reactive oxidation species that would fuel the growth of cancer even much more faster. So to reverse cancer, you have to be able to generate and create that DC electric current. You also need to work on your dysfunctional mitochondria, and when you do this, you'll be able to regain the signal for regeneration. Unfortunately, when it comes to re-establishing the DC electric current needed for regeneration, this is not a story of food, it is not a story of herbs, it is not a story of supplements, it is basically a story of light. Cancer is not a death sentence, it is a story of a regeneration or a healing gone wrong, as I said at the beginning. Nature's Healing Hub, we take you by the hands and help you to re-establish that DC electric current that is meant for you to be able to heal and to regenerate.